Hello guys, today in this video we want to take a look at packet tracer 1561, configure IP version 4 and 6 static and default route. As you can see, we have two LAN and internal network here, and we want to establish connection between edge router to ISP1 and ISP2. We have two service provider here, internet service provider, and for example, if I want to make connection between edge router to custom server, we have two routes here. Routing protocol help us to choose the best path and best route between, for example, edge router and custom server in this topology, because we have two routes here, and we have two categories for routing uh, protocols. First, this is static route, as you can see in this video and in this activity. In a static route, an administrator should enter all the networks manually. For large networks, is impossible, but for some case like this case between edge router and ISP, you can use a static route, and you should static routes is better. But in large networks, you should use dynamic routing protocol like ISIS or OSPF or EIGRP, BGP, whatever. And in this situation and in dynamic routing protocol, um, we should advertise all the networks dynamically and automatically. And routing table will be established and um, routing also tables will be established and created automatically, but not in this video. First, we should go to part 1, and we should configure IP version for a static default route. And a static default route, it means, for example, in edge router, you have two network here, network address 192.168.10.16 and also 11.32. If, for example, edge router see or receive any network like 10.0.0.0, what should edge router do with this network? Because edge router cannot recognize this network. We can use a static default route, and we should go to edge router here, and we can write here enable and also configure terminal, and write here IP route all of the networks 0000 with all of the subnet masks that you cannot recognize. This is the formal and command. Okay, default command. You should send it to next hop. What is the next hop? In first scenario, on edge router configure directly connect to IP version 4 default static route, and this primary default route should be through ISP1. We should send to next hop. This is IP address of next hop. We should find it. IP address of ISP1 and serial 000 here, and this is next hop, and this is primary for us. Yes. Control V. I should write it. I don't know why. 10, 10, 10, 1. And in this situation, all the unknown network should be sent to ISP1. But we need also redundancy. If, for example, any problem here between edge router and ISP1 happen, what should we do? For example, any file, error, catastrophe, disaster, and something like that, and disconnection, and we should use also ISP2. And in this situation, you should use floating static road. Floating static road, it should be this situation, and you should use administrative distance. Administrative distance is a value for all of the routing protocol, and by default, static route administrative distance is 1. For example, for EIGRP is 90, for OSPF 120, for BGP is 30. If you, for example, use other administrative like 5 here, it means it's the next priority, and we can see we can say that a smaller administrative distance is the best choice for router. And in this situation, we can also use next hop here for ISP2. Next hop for ISP2. This is here. This interface you can see. ISP2 should be 5. Yes, should be 5. And administrative distance you can see between 1 and 255, and for example, we can set it 4, 5, 6 because this is greater than 1. And in this situation, it's the redundancy, and this route should be choose as second primary, as second priority. Excuse me. Yes, and also we should configure um, configure IP version 6 also. Same process also for IP version 6 on edge router, and we should send to ISP1, and for ISP2 also it should be administrative distance 5. Okay, we should copy ISP1 IP address from here and write here IP version 6 route colon /0. Yes, yes. Also, we send all of the unknown networks to next hop in IP version 6, and it's instead of 000000000, you can write here for IP version 6 here. And same process for ISP2. For ISP2 also we have here this IP address of next hop, and also we have 5 like administrative VLAN. And what about part 3? In part 3, configure IP version 4 static and floating static routes again. We should go to ISP1 now. And on ISP1, configure next hop IP version 4 static route to the LAN 1 network through edge router. If ISP1 sends any packet to LAN 1, should choose this route, and we can configure it with conft and write here IP route again. And what is the network address for LAN 1? All of this is this network address with 255, 255, 255, and also it should be 240. It should be sent to this interface. And what is the interface here? This is 10, 10, 10, 10. I think it should be 2. Edge router, yes, it should be 2. Yes, you can see? Yes. And in the other section, in other step, can on ISP1 1 also we can configure next hop for LAN network also. For LAN network 2 is same. We should go here and write here 11 point dot 32 and should be /27. This is, I think this is 224. Yes. And next hop also should be this interface. Yes, it works. Part 3, step 2 on ISP1, configure a directly connected floating static route to LAN 1 through the ISP2 router and use administrative distance greater than 1, can be, for example, in this example, 5. Okay. This is redundancy for us to have access to LAN 1 and LAN 2 from ISP1. If anything and any problem happen here, any file happen here, we can use this route to LAN 1 and LAN 2, ISP1, ISP2, and after that edge router. You should write here, and it's for also for IP version 4. Yes. This is for IP version 4, and we should write here again, same process, but what is the next hop here? Next hop, it should be this IP address. This IP address R. This IP address is for ISP2. For ISP2, yes. This is this IP address here. No, it's for ISP2. 02. And administrative distance, it should be 5 here. Yes, correct. Um, Other section also, for LAN 2 also should be 198.0.0.2 and yes, administrative distance also is 5. Okay, we should continue to part 4, and in part 4, step 1 on ISP1. Also, we should next hop IP version 6 static route to the LAN 1 network through edge router. Okay, we can write here IP version 6 route colon /0. Yes, and we should copy it in this network address 2001 db8 colon 1 colon 10 colon /64. And what is the next hop in this interface of edge router? This is edge router, and next hop is here. Yes, this is next hop, serial 00. Oh, we should write it 2001 db8 1 colon 2 colon 2. Yes. What is the problem here? IP version 6. Oh, we don't need anything, excuse me. This is for default route. Yes. This is the full command here. We don't need any because 0 colon slash colon slash 0. This is for static default route. And same process also for LAN 2. For LAN 2 also we should use, what is the network here? IP version 6, DB8, and should be 11 here, and next hop is same. Okay, thank you for patience. It's very long. And on OSP1, configure next hop IP version 6 floating static route to LAN 1 and LAN 2 with administrative distance via ISP2. Excuse me, ISP2 router. The same process also we have done for IP version 4, and we should do that for IP version 6, but for this network, LAN 1 network, we should use also IP address of, yes, IP address of this interface. We should send it to this interface, ISP1, and this is ISP1, and this is ISP2. ISP2, and this is G00, and IP address should be this one, 2001 TB8 FF2. FF2 with 5 administrative distance. You can see here. And also same process for LAN 2. Should write here F2 with 5. Yes. And we should continue in part 5. In part 5, also we have configure host routes on edge router. Yes. On edge router, configure IP version 4 directly connected host route to the customer server. Okay, this is customer server, and this is network address for customer server, and this is IP address of IP address for customer server. This is not network address. We should go to edge router here and enable and conft and right here I want to send packet to 8 0 0 10, and what is the subnet mask? This is 255.255.255 because its IP address is not network address, is host address, host IP address, and we should send it to next hop. Yes, with edge router here, serial 000. This route is the best route for coming to customer server, and we can write here next hop address or next hop IP address, or other way to write name of this interface. Name of this interface is serial 000. Okay. And also on edge router configure IP version here, excuse me. On edge router configure IP version 4 directly connected floating host route to the customer server. Use an administrative distance 5. You can write here, I want to send it, and in redundancy should use other serial 001, other interface here. Yes, and administrative distance is 5. Yes. And yes. And in step 2, configure also IP version 6 next hop to ISP1 router, and also administrative distance 5 to ISP2 router, and same process for them. Also you can write here IP version 6 route, and what is the IP address of this host, DB8, I mean customer server. Here is our host here, 10, and we should send it to, and we can also write here name of this, excuse me, name of this interface or next hop IP address. You can use, for example, ISP1 serial 00, and this is, I hope I can copy and paste. I hope. Thank you. And this is the primary. Yes, this is the primary route for us. It doesn't need to have other administrative distance, because if you don't write anything here, it's by default 1. IP version 6 route. I should check it. IP version 6 route and 2001 DB8 FF. Okay, we lack of slash 128 here. Yes, yes, it's right now. And also other routes should be chosen for redundancy from ISP2 to customer server, and it's a routing protocol. And we should use here we should write here IP address of ISP2, and should be ISP2 2001 DB8 82, and administrative distance should be 5. Yes. And we can also use what we have done here. You should write here show IP route, and this is a routing table that you can see here. And S, it means a static that we have right here. And for example, to go to this IP address, this is a customer server. We can use serial 000. This is connected. You can see here, this is serial 000, and also static routes. Also we have here, this is candidate default. All the default routes, all the static default route, unknown networks should be sent to 10 10 10 1, and this is also here you can see, but you cannot see redundancy also. And even though I have configured it, we have configured it uh, in our network, but here in the routing table only you can see the best routes and the best choices for your network here. And other thing also, you can IP version also 6 here, you can see show IP route and something like that, and a static route that we have done it is here. And also we have write it also for network for host and customer server, and this is for default route because it has a colon slash 0. Yes, and same process also for ISP1 that we have done it here. You can see show IP route here, and you can see we have 2S here, static route. Yes, but it's ISP, but we are not allowed to write and to configure default route because it's ISP and it's the entrance to the network uh, to our large network and internet. Yes. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe me and support me and write for me if you have any question. Have a nice day.